Oh, okay.
Okay. So as she does that, let me introduce one of our other reps. I always like to introduce reps so you see people who are your age working here. This is Alex Smith. So Alex started a few weeks ago. Alex is already one of our highest, most promoted reps. He's actually part of what's called our 10K Alliance. You can go this way. And our 10K Alliance is a special group of students who are going to get extra coaching, just like you're doing, but they're not in their first 10 days. And so he's looking to be one of our biggest income earners. What's your push goal?
15.
Okay, so his goal is to make between $4,000 and $6,000 just in the month of July, and he's going to go through the extra coaching. How about name, school, major, and what do you like about the job so far?
So I actually go to ATP Flight School, so that's on Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport. I went to Embry-Riddle, and I had meteorology as my major. I wasn't happy with what I was doing, so I decided to start my career in flight. So decided to come back down, and Josie contacted me, and I got into Cutco, and it's awesome. I really love it. You make really good relationships with people, and I would say my biggest piece of advice is make sure you stick to your manual and be confident. A lot of people like being confident, being able to talk to other people. It really helps you sound like you know your things, and it really helps you be able to talk to older people. Yeah. A lot of people, like I know a lot of people who are my friends who can't talk to adults, and something I've been blessed with is I'm always around adults with my dad's business, and it's really like a valuable thing to have.
Do you know when most people start to approach speaking to adults? Ready? Their first interviews for jobs after college. That is not smart, but that's when most students do it. Okay, because like, oh, I'll get comfortable when it's time, but it's a little bit too late. So give them some tips.
So my tip: try and do the extracurriculars here. Be here in the office. Since I'm pretty much down the street every day, I come here pretty often. You know, you get to see some of the people around the office. You make entire relationships. You meet new people. There's some really I came back down. All my friends moved out of here, and I made friends here that we go out Wednesday nights. We have a great time. We played soccer the other night.
Did you do well?
I thought I did well.
Pretty solid. He was shockingly good.
Shockingly.
And then how about first weekend tip? How do you get out? He had 2 promotions first weekend. How do you do that?
First weekend, see friends and family. Helps out a lot.
But which ones?
Well-off ones. That helps out a little bit.
Sometimes, but if you don't have well-off ones, right? The ones that cook the most, the ones that have
houses.
Right? The Mac customers. Okay, good.
Yeah, I had quite a few Macs.
There you go. Cool. Can we clap loud for Alex? Okay. All right, so let's do this. Let's go through the presentation. Let's go through the playbook real quick. Okay. And before we start, I want to show you something kind of cool, and it has to do with why the book is set up the way it is. Okay. And in your notes, you can write down. I need your notebooks for like this first part, and then we'll just go to the playbook. It's called 7 Steps to a Sale. So this manual was not made by Cutco. It was put together by sales experts, and all sales experts would agree, if you want to sell a product at a high level, you have to follow these 7 steps to a sale. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, let me get these down for you, and you'll see how it all works in with our presentation. Number 1, first step to the sale is, do you want to walk into the house and just start selling something to someone? No, what's the first thing you should always do, even in whether it's retail sales, direct sales, any sales?
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, you want to chit chat. So we call that connect. And then you explain why you're working. And I'll talk about that in just a second, okay? The second step is to establish credibility. And who do you want to establish the credibility of, at least in our presentation? Of Cutco, yeah, the company. And then we also want to wow the customer. So this is where we cut the penny. And then we also peel something. Does anyone want to guess why so early in the presentation we want to use the products and not wait till the end? Why do you? Yeah, we want to hook the attention. We want to say, oh wow, well let me keep listening here, and you'll learn how to cut the penny. Then we want to create a problem. Next logical step after you create a problem is you want to offer. Yeah. Offer a solution. Then after you offer a solution, you create a need for the product. Then, step 6, you want to compare and then give the price finally. Okay, so create a need. Then you want to compare and give the price. And we also still want to keep their attention. So during offer solution, this is where we cut the rope. This is where we cut the rope. You guys already experienced that earlier. And then create a need. This is where we cut leather. This is also where we cut food, like tomatoes, oranges. We cut food from the fridge, but also I'll teach you how to bring your own food. That is really impressive to cut. Like I'll show you, if you take grapes and you use the smallest knife I give you, one of the smaller knives, you can slice the grapes like you're slicing bread. And it's really impressive for the customer, okay? Then you compare and give the price. And then of course, since it's 7 steps to a sale, what's the 7th step?
So,
To sell. Now, the more accurate and professional way to say it is this is where you would ask for the order. This is where you would ask the customer for the order. And then from there, ready? That's where you'd go into negotiations. What does that mean? Sometimes customers want a better deal or discount. Or sometimes they want to go higher. Right? Sometimes, oh, Gabby, that's not enough, honey. Like your uncle and I, we would barely use that. We want to, like, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. So ask for the order. And then this is not part of the sale, but how do we continue to build your clientele? What do you have to ask for? That's right. Ask for, and I'm just going to put it short, Rex, R-E-C-S. Ask for Rex. Okay. So look how straightforward it is. Right in the beginning, it's designed for you to talk about all the different contests and goals, right? President's Club letter. This is your Fast Start contest. This is the letter from the president. This is the scholarship. Okay, this is a sponsorship contest. And that's step 1, and connect, chit chat with the customer. Then we'll establish credibility about the company. We'll cut the penny and peel here. Talk about the history. Create a problem. What's the problem? Yeah, their knives. And then what's the solution? Our knives, yeah. And then the guarantee, we'll cut rope here. And then we can explain the need. Now, we don't start by showing the larger sets. We start with the set that anyone, even if you hate to cook, can use. It's that one. It's called the Homemaker. It's our set for people. If you cook like 2 to 3 times a week at most, and you have to cook, but you don't even like it. We start with that. Why? Because people can always go higher. Okay? And you'll talk about the different uses. Some of the tools you have, well, then those that you do have, you use on food. If you don't have the knife yet because you haven't won it in your contest, you'll just point to the picture. Then we explain the storage and then all the accessories that match. Okay, go from there. Then we'll compare to the competition and then we give them their options. Ready? This set for people if you have to cook. Then if you like to cook, it's 3 knives bigger because if you like to cook, there are 3 tools you really want to have. And then if you love to cook or you only like the nice things in your house, then you can get this one. And then if they want to get something big, they can also get what's called a kitchen, which is they get the large set of knives, but they also get the other 2 parts of a kitchen. What are the 3 parts of a kitchen? Because everyone has them. Even if they're bad products, everyone has these 3 parts. What do you have? You have the knives, pots and pans, and then silverware. Yeah, same thing. Okay? And then, of course, after that, there are also different starter sets and different gift options that go smaller. And then if you buy a suit, you don't just buy a suit. When I buy suits, I don't buy just a suit when I go. What do I buy? Shirt, tie, pocket square. And we have, those are called accessories. We have accessories too. Pretty straightforward. Got it? So the book is already in order for the 7 steps. And here's what's really important. If you walk in and say, Riley's my niece, and she's showing the cut presentation, and I get really excited, and I go, ooh, how much? On this section. Like, let's say you cut the penny, and I go, damn. What? I don't think they'd say damn.
My family.
Wow. Okay. Damn, Riley. How much is that? We don't want to give the price till later. Okay. So that's why there's a specific order. Just to give you an idea. Watch. Presented 7 steps to a sale. Here's the sale. Here's you. And there's 7 steps, right? If you skip a step, what happens? Yeah, you don't make it to the sale. That's why if a customer says, "Oh, how much is that?" or "What are my options here?" and it's not that part yet, it's just really important to say, Mrs. Jones, Miss Gabby, we're gonna get to that at the end, but I need to do this part first because I'm in training. Just make sure you follow the order. It's very similar to, you guys are familiar with Proactive Solution? Who's familiar with Proactive Solution? No? Skincare.
I use that.
Proactive Solution. Right? It's ready. It's the #1 selling skincare line in the world. And they only sell, now they sell in malls, but now before they only sold for over almost 2 decades, they sold on infomercials on television. Who's seen the infomercial? Yeah. So they followed the 7 steps to a sale. In the beginning, they don't try to sell you right away. What do? They start conversation in your head. How do you start conversation? You have to ask lots of questions. So they ask questions like, are you having a hard time with your skin? Right? Is pre-hormonal acne getting to you? Are you losing and you watch it, you're like, and you have this conversation, and then they'll say, well, we have Proactive Solution, and we've been around since 1997, Dr. Roden and Fields, like I'm familiar with the commercial. And then they'll wow you. They don't cut pennies and peel things. What do? They show you before and then a really dramatic after. Okay. And then they'll create a problem. They'll talk about all the problems with other types of skincare, and then they'll show the solution, Proactive Solution. And then they'll wow again with more before and after, and then they'll create a need. They'll show why you need the skin cleanser. Why do you need the toner? Why do you need the night lotion? And then they'll compare to all the prescription drugs that are more expensive, and they'll give the easy price. And how do they say the price? They say, oh, if you buy it now, it's only 3 easy payments of $39.99 or $29.99. Why? Or actually, it's $19.99. 3 easy payments of $19.99. And the voice is so soft. And why do they say 3 easy payments of $19.99? Why don't they just say $60?
Because you don't focus on the cheaper, you focus on the
That's right. You focus on the smaller, easy payments. We do the same exact thing. And they even offer you free stuff, right? They say, if you buy today for free, you get another package. Or they'll give you something different. That's called an incentive. And we do the same exact thing with Cutco. If they buy one of our sets, we give them other free products to get them, entice them. And at the end, they say, call now or go to proactivesolution.com to buy. And they even at the end have a card, or you guys know this in everything you buy online. What happens? It says if you put this on your Facebook, Snapchat, or Instagram, you'll get 20% off, or you'll get a free something if you post it. That's recommendations. Okay, same thing. You ready? That's just selling a product, but you always have to sell, don't you? So let me do another example. You guys are in college, high school. You go to a party. There's a guy that sees a girl that he thinks is really cute, and he wants to ask her out on a date. Who does he have to sell? Yeah, so if he's smart and he went through Jeff Gamboa's Cutco sales training, he'll know how many steps to the sale, everybody. So what's the first step? Out loud, what's the first step? Connect and explain why. So how do you start conversation? You ask what? Questions, right? So he won't go ask for her number. Like he should not, ladies, right? Go up and say, hi, can I get your number? No, he'll start off. Ready? He'll start off. How are you? What's your? Yeah. Have conversation. If he's smart and follow Jeff Gamboa's 7 steps to a sale, what's the second step? Establish. Yeah, he'll say, oh, so do you know Ramon? Oh, that's my boy from church. I know Ramon too. There's credibility. And he might even wow her. How does he wow her? He might be funny. He might tell a joke and say, oh, did you hear about this? And she laughs and she goes, oh my God, he's so funny. Right? So it's going. If he's smart, will he ask for the number yet? What's the third step? So he'll create a problem. He'll say, so are you here with your friends? Boyfriend? And she'll say, oh, I'm single. I don't have a boyfriend. And he'll go, you don't have a boyfriend? That's a problem. So now that we have a problem, you offer a. So he'll somehow work in that he's single too. And then he'll wow her again. Maybe he buys all the friends a drink because he's a gentleman. Okay. Then the next step is to create a need. So what he'll do is he'll say, you know what? You need to get out of the house. We need to hang out. Now, then he'll compare. We could get like coffee if you want. If you want to take it real slow, hey, let's just get all our friends. Let's all go out to whatever bar tomorrow. And you work out some options. And then at the end, if he's smart, then appropriately, respectfully, and professionally, he'll say, do you mind if I get your number? I'd love to call you. Cool? Now, ladies, all the ladies here, single or not, doesn't matter. Would you agree, even if it's a no, that's still the right way to approach it? Would you agree? Okay. Gentlemen, my boys here, let me talk to you. If she says yes, do you get excited and act like no one ever says yes to you?
No.
No. Ready? Can I get your number yet? Really? Oh my gosh, you gave it to me. How should you react? Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I can't wait to talk to you. Ready? confidence. Same thing with Cutco. When someone says yes, you don't go, oh my gosh, you actually bought it. What do you say? You say, oh, congratulations. Like everyone gets it. And then gentlemen, this is just from me to you, 40 years old, I'm going to get married. Thank God I found the love of my life. Let me give you some gentleman advice. If she says yes, don't get excited. If she says no, it's all good. You say, it's nice to meet you. Do you have any friends? Now, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Does the order make sense?
Yes.
Okay, the order also makes sense with Cutco. So what I want to do is I want to go through the playbook, the next 45 minutes or so, maybe hour. I want to go through the 7 steps, show you what to read, and then we'll take our next break. And then we'll wrap up training with how to think and act and speak like a customer so you can relate. I'll show the prices of all the sets. And then we'll wrap up training today with picking out your best customers and putting a schedule together before you set up your first 5 appointments. It's pretty straightforward. Got it? So here's the playbook. Okay, first 10 days, you're going to read this all the way through. So let's open up to the first page. Okay? And at the top here, there are 4 keys to the demo. And I want to talk about that for a second. 4 keys to the demo. Okay, here we go. 4 keys to the presentation. What's the first one say? Follow the, everyone together, follow the manual. You gotta follow the manual. Here's why. It's the playbook, it's the words. Every time we have a presentation, if someone doesn't make a sale, it's usually because they missed 1 or 2 of these. The book was meant for you to be in training. The book was meant for people who are new. It's meant to give you confidence. You don't have to think about what to say. It's more focused on the product. So make sure you follow the manual. Number 2, it says cut lots of food. Yeah, cut lots of food. Why is that really important? Their knives are meant to cut food. Now, don't get me wrong. The rope is super cool and really, really fancy. The leather is, when they cut the leather, it is the most lights out, most impressive thing you see. You're like, wow, and we'll practice that today. The penny, it's kind of gimmicky, but it's really cool. And it shows what? That the scissors are really, really durable. But that's not why they're buying the product, because they're not going to cut rope and leather and pennies in their house. What are they going to cut? Food. So when you test drive a high-end car, we're the Ferrari. We're not a BMW or Mercedes, although they're great. We're Ferrari. It's like the best. We're the Ferrari of knives. So how do you get people excited about a Ferrari if you're selling a Ferrari? Yeah, do you just go around the parking lot? No, you go on the 95 and you safely, you go. Right? That's how you sell a Ferrari for the most part. If you don't cut food, it's like trying to test drive the car in the parking lot. That's what happens when we skip food. And ready? Every week. Last week, I won't say names. You'll meet her at some point. Didn't hit our first promotion first weekend. I said, okay, did you follow the manual? I did. What food did you cut? Oh. Right? She's new, so okay, it's okay. So guess what? She got the food I told her to get from Publix. She got grapes, tomatoes, and carrots. Next presentation, $1,100 order. Next presentation, $1,900 order. Next presentation, $800 order, and she messed up. It was only $800, still $800. So what do you notice? You got to cut lots of food. Got it? Third one, it says have lots of, everyone, have lots of fun. Next to it, I want you to write down enthusiasm and belief. Enthusiasm and belief. Do you really think in 2 short days you're going to be professional salespeople yet? No. But you'll know about the product. You'll know how to present. People don't buy Cutco from you your first weekend. They buy your enthusiasm and they buy your belief. Let's say Gabby is my daughter's best friend. I'm just going to pretend, okay? And I see Gabby all the time. We go to church together. But she comes over and she's dressed up more professional versus, going out with my daughter to, going to movies or whatever it might be. And she's in a professional outfit, like, oh, hey, Gabby. But then Gabby's all of a sudden really excited. You guys say lit, right? Real lit about like these knives. She's super pumped up. And she's, oh, Mr. Jeff, Miss Heidi, this stuff is awesome. Oh, I'm really going to see that, okay? And I know it's not because it's just seeing us. I know it's because of what? What's it because of? The knives, the product. And ready? Here's the most important part. If I'm a Mac customer, I'm 30 to 40 to 60 years old. She's 18, 19, let's say. And I know her really well. And I know she doesn't cook because we cook for her when she comes over. And I've seen her make ramen, maybe, at best. If she's excited, and I know she wouldn't use it as much as we do, what am I thinking when I see this product? I absolutely have to what? I have to have this product, okay? So remember, 2 things out loud. People don't buy Cutco, they buy 2 things, what? Your enthusiasm and your belief. So part of believing It's using the product too. Last one, number 4, is call the office for help and deals. Okay. Notice the last step to the sale is to ask for the order. What's the sub bullet? Negotiation. You are not skilled, trained, or knowledgeable enough to do negotiations on your own until you're done 10 days. So we do the negotiations when you call us from the presentation. So you're either going to call us for negotiations to upgrade the set because they said, yes, I'll take it, and you go to the higher ones, or they'll say no for whatever reason, whether it's financial or if the options are not what they want, and we'll teach you that as well. Okay. Your job in your first 10 days is not to be a good negotiator. Your job is to help us facilitate the negotiation. And by watching and listening, what happens? You learn how to do it for yourself. So after 10 days, you don't even need to do half the things you do now to make the same negotiations. Cool? Okay. So all this stuff, you can read this on your own tonight. It's not mandatory because we're going to cover it tomorrow. But these are just some extra tips. And at the bottom is how you handle customers that already own Cutco. I'll cover this tomorrow, but I want to make one really big point. I think it was Gabby and someone else, Renato, right? Your parents already own Cutco? Okay. And you said they love it.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet for a customer in my life with Cutco. I've been here 22 summers. I've yet for someone to say, it's okay in my life. What's the resounding theme and feedback when you ask someone who owns it what they think about it?
I love it.
Love it. It's the best. I couldn't live without it. I only cook with the Cutco. The reason that's so important is that when you show Cutco to people who own it, I want you to know it's not a 60% closure ratio. It's like 90 plus. And why is it so easy, almost automatic to sell Cutco if they have it already? They already know how good it is. They just either need to upgrade their set or fill in their options or buy gifts. Cool? So here's the cool thing. You don't know this yet until tonight when you start calling customers for appointments, but you won't realize that a lot of people you know do have Cutco. It's just not something you bring up or pay attention to until you got the job. Like when you walk in, PJ, to your best friend's house, you don't go to the mom, hey, Miss So-and-so, yeah, what cutlery do you use? Like, you don't care about that. You'll find out a lot of your friends and family. We're the #1 office in the Eastern region last summer, and we sold millions and millions of dollars worth of Cutco just in Broward County. Cutco's all over this place. And so when you see people with the product, that's a positive thing, okay? All right, let's turn to page 1. So here's where I need your help. When I go through 7 steps to the sale, I'm gonna ask you to say things out loud. Does anyone know why saying it out loud and repeating the same thing multiple times today is gonna help? What is it? Yeah, it's ingrained in your memory. Where my athletes or musicians, right? Practice makes perfect. Or they say perfect practice makes perfect, okay? It's like doing drills. It's like doing drills. So, ready? This 7 steps, I'm gonna ask you to repeat it probably 10 times between now and the next break. Why? Because it's gonna help you retain information, okay? You guys with me? So if I get your best energy, you'll learn how to do this, and you guys will pop off between $1,000 to $2,000 in income by Sunday. How's that work? Fair deal? Okay, ready? How many steps to the sale?
7.
Everyone, how many steps to the sale?
7.
First step is to do what? Connect and explain why you're working. What's the best way to start conversation? Ask questions. So at the top of page 1, we're going to write down the first step, connect/why. So at the top of page 1, I want you to write down connect, like mine, /why. Connect/why. See that? Okay. So that way, when you turn the page, you go, okay, this is what I need to get done on this page. Can I have 3 volunteers be my strong, loud readers for the group? 1, 2, next one, raise your hand, and 3. Okay, so Brianna will start at the top with building rapport. And if it's okay with you, there are things in the manual, not in the manual, that we sometimes put in. It's like the extra special hot sauce, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's good, but then you put that extra hot sauce. I'm going to give you the Fort Lauderdale hot sauce. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Or the what do you guys say? The fire. All right? Someone's saying that. Someone said it the other day. Oh, this is like fire, Jeff. I'm like, okay, whatever you say. I say hot sauce. Got it? Brianna, please start with building rapport.
Building rapport / social etiquette. Recommended 10 minutes. Find something to compliment, get to know them, ask a lot of questions.
Okay, so my first hot sauce tip, you don't even have to write it down. It's just when you want to start conversation, ask lots of questions. My second hot sauce tip, when you're showing Mac moms, we call them Mac moms, soccer moms. You want to get the mom really talking and really comfortable. There are 2 questions that all moms love to talk about. First of all, who do they love to talk about?
Their kids.
Their kids, and who else?
Their husband.
No way!
Themselves.
No way! Ready?
Themselves.
Themselves. Ready? Themselves and their kids. Tell me about the kids. Oh, Miss Aranza, how's Susan doing with college? Oh my gosh, she's already a fresh, like that. Or Miss Riley, so what have you been up to? Oh well, moms want to be heard. Okay, so that's already going to create a good connection. Thank you, Brianna. Continue.
The 6 P's: plants outside, pets, photos, clocks, accomplishments, profession, people, kids.
Okay, that line is for you when you're showing people that you don't know as well. It's like ideas to talk about. That is not what you say to your friends and family this weekend. You guys, and look at me, please. Like Gabby's my aunt. I'm not gonna go, hi, Aunt Gabby, how have you been? Good. How are the plants? She's gonna say, what the hell is wrong with you? No, these are just icebreakers for people when you get recommended to people or when you start showing people that you haven't talked to in a while. Sounds good? Thumbs up if you understand that. Okay. Now, next to where it says, thank you so much, I want you to put in parentheses, start. So this is where you'll start the presentation after you've done some chit chat. Okay, and Brianna, when you're ready.
Thank you so much for taking the time to see my presentation. It really means a lot.
Oh, of course, sweetie. We love you from church, and we'd do anything for you. Keep going. Let me tell you.
Personal story. Let me tell you a little bit about me.
Okay, stop for a second. That's what you say when it's someone you haven't seen in a while. But when it's friends and family, you don't say, let me tell you about me. You say, let me tell you what I've been doing or up to. So far, so good? Okay. Let me give you 30 seconds here. I want you to write down a few bullets or points or sentences on what you're going to say to customers so you don't have to think. Because sometimes maybe when you're in the presentation, I just want you to look down and be able to just have a guideline. So I want you to write things like school, major, hobbies. There it says family and even dream job. What are some things you'll talk about that pertain to what you've been doing? Or up to? Give me another 20 seconds. And if you're done, look up so I know. What's one thing you wrote down, Miss Riley? If I'm one of your...
Lacrosse.
Oh, talk about lacrosse. Cool. What position? You midi, attack?
Midi.
Cool. Usually the taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I
I'm on
guess.
5'7".
There you go. That's tall for
Yeah.
midi, right? Yeah. What did you write down?
College.
Oh, where are you going?
Wow.
Good. And you tell me your major and what you want to get into. Perfect. Good. What are you talking about, Brianna?
I'm a musician.
There you go. What do you play?
Guitar, bass, keys,
That's it?
anything that's not drums.
Okay, cool. We should jam. We have a lot of musicians. Good. So you guys see that? Easy to catch up, connect. Next part. It says tie into goals. Mrs. Jones, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? And this is where you'll start using the book. Okay. Brianna, if you can continue. I'm working.
I'm working with Cutco because
And same thing. I'll give you another 30 seconds. Let me write down a few quick bullet points of why you're working with Cutco. It is okay to say money. Okay, that's not a bad thing. In fact, why do you think Mac customers will respect you more? It will be more connected to you. Honesty and admiration for how hard you're working. They appreciate that. Give me another 20 seconds. Something that pertains to your major, skills that you want for your career, something for your resume. Maybe you want to run a business. Maybe you need sales skills. Maybe you're shy, want to come out of your shell. Maybe you're broke like Luke and he bumped into, you know his story?
Mm-hmm.
He was looking at his GPS and he crashed the car. Well, he bumped the car and it broke the bumper. So maybe he's in a bind and he needs to make his own money. Okay, we'll continue. And it says, I'm in a huge contest. Right next to that, I want you to write down in parentheses red. Next sentence, I want you to write down white, where it says President's Club letter. And then the last one, where it says scholarship, I want you to write down blue next to it. And it'll look like this. The next three sentences, red, white, blue. Red, white, blue. Got it? Good. So that will remind you of what to point to. The first sheet is red. Second sheet is white. It's pretty straightforward. White and then blue. Got it? Okay. So let me give you the hot sauce tip number 3 or 4. I forget. 3 or 4. Ready? When you point, it's always way more professional to point with a pen. Right? So this is what it's going to look like in your presentation. So you'll have your training manual like this. You'll be sitting with the customer on the corner of the table. How come you don't want to sit all the way across?
You're too far away.
It's too far away, right? And when you're writing down prices, they can't see it, and they have to get up to do the rope and leather test. Versus you're right on the corner, and it'll be like this. When you point, you'll say, "Oh, Miss Aranza, if you take a look here." That's the hot sauce tip. Hot sauce tip number 4 or 5 is make sure your pen is closed. What, Faith? Why? You'll mark up your book. It doesn't look nice. Got it? Okay. So, Miss Brianna, we'll continue when you're ready. I'm in a huge contest.
I'm in a huge contest for my first 10 days. It's called the Fast Start Contest. Show Fast Start, share goals. Through Cutco, I can earn a President's Club letter, which will look great on my resume. I also have the chance to win an All-American Scholarship to help with school. Show scholarship brochure.
Yeah, so let me do that real quick, right? So when you talk about your first 10 days, you don't know the contest levels until Luke shows you. But why do you think it's important to show all the levels? Like, why is it important to share your contest with the customer?
Show like how you're willing to work.
Okay, so how you're willing to work. Why else? They'll want to help you. Yeah. So if I'm with Gabby and I really like this one because I like to cook, but we're not necessarily opposed to getting that one, but she's a good friend of ours and she's got this contest. Well, you'll hear this all the time. Sweetie, if we get that one, does that help? It's kind of like, yeah, we got you. Okay, you guys see that? So you have the red here, and then this is the President's Club letter, which I'll read to you tomorrow. This thing is sick when you see what you can get from the president, and then you'll do the scholarship. And just so you know, the scholarship is not based on grades or major. It doesn't matter what those are for you. It's based on sales. So the top 50 students in the company will win a scholarship based on who sold the most for the summer. Okay. The reason I'm really good at helping you win these scholarships is because when I sold Cutco, I was #1 my first summer. And so for those students that have the highest sales, and why do you think it's important to pull the sheet out and you can show all the pictures? What does it do when they see this? Okay, #1, it looks better. And someone said proves what?
It proves that it's like.
Well, it proves that's legit, and it kind of humanizes the presentation. Okay, they see the other students with the job. Okay, so far so good. All right, Brianna, you want to continue with Mrs. Jones since I just started?
Mrs. Jones, since I just started, I'm going to read my menu. Is that okay?
And they always say, "Of course, sweetie." And ready? We say that so they know and understand why you keep looking down. Because you're new. So, and ready? Here's my hot sauce tip. It's not really a tip. It's just kind of expectation. 10% of you on the high end are going to be really good, like this. So, Miss Gabby, I'm in a huge contest right now. It's called my Fast Start contest. Let me show this to you. It's called my Fast Start, and there are 10 levels, and you go through, and you'll look up at the customer a lot because you can read pretty quickly like that. But then there are some of you, and I'm telling you, it's going to be just like this. So, Miss Gabby, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? Okay, the reason I'm working with Cutco is to obviously pay for my own pre-med bills, and I really want to get some experience for my future when I run my own practice. I'm in a huge contest for my first 10 days, and it's called the Fast Start Contest. Through Cutco, I can earn a President's Club letter, which will look great on my resume. Okay, and that's, by the way, that will sell a lot of Cutco too. I'm going to introduce you to a lot of students who have sold $1,000, $3,000, $6,000, $10,000 in the first 48 hours, and half of them do that. Because ready, when you do that, and they know you're new, they don't pay attention to the words. What do they really pay attention to? The product, and also your enthusiasm and your belief. Got it? Okay, let's continue. Transition to demo. Brianna will wrap up.
Like I said on the phone, you don't have to get anything, but if you see something you like, you can get it today. Not only would you be getting a great product, but you'd be helping me out too. Cutco is awesome.
Okay, stop for a second. Nice job. Ready? Circle Cutco is awesome. And ready? Help me out here. People don't buy Cutco from you this weekend. What do they do? What do they buy? Your enthusiasm and belief. So circle that, put a big smiley face, and how you say that is really important. Miss Faith, Cutco's awesome. Really? Cutco's so awesome. Already? Cutco is awesome. They need to hear, feel, and see that you believe in the product. So this is Luke's tip, and I love this tip. Whatever is considered like uncomfortable enthusiasm, go right one notch above that. So if you're super shy and you're not really outspoken, you'll sell a lot of Cutco. But whatever's like hype for you, go right over that. If you're already like an excited person, the people you show know that already. So go a little bit higher. So I always go like this. I go, Cutco is awesome, okay? And then you go from there. Okay, and it says, and I'll do this part. You can buy sets, and see where it says or pieces? I want you to cross out or pieces. And here's why. You can sell them pieces, but it's not really a good deal for them, and they don't always have, they won't have the right tools. Okay, ladies, you guys have shoes, right? You only have one pair of shoes, that's it? No. Why do you have more than one pair of shoes? Even my fiance, who is, I'm not a shoe person, she's from the farm in North Dakota, so she's super simple, she's great. She has way more than one pair of shoes. Why? Occasions, style, health, yeah, everything. So the same thing, if you just get one knife, well, you might have that one knife that's good for that one thing, but what happens when you want to cut a watermelon? What happens when you cut carrots? It's not the same knife, okay? So we'll talk about that. So Cutco is awesome. You can buy sets, and we have tons of accessories and gifts. We also have interest-free monthly investment options, so you don't have to pay for it all at once. So just so I know, do you cook because you have to, you like to, or love to? Oh, you love to? Great, you're gonna love Cutco. My last fire or hot sauce tip is when you ask a question, not just for respect, but to be a good listener, what should you wait for? Wait for the answer. So, Miss Riley, just so I know, do you cook because you have to, you like to, or you love to?
I like to.
You do like to. Okay, great. Well, you're going to love Cutco. So just make sure you're waiting. Otherwise, it looks like this. Do you cook because you have to, you like to, or love to? Great, you're going to love Cutco. And the customer will go, wait, you got it? All right, let's do a quick review of the first step. Ready? All together, right? So we memorize this. How many steps to the sale?
7.
First step is to
Next.
and explain.
Why?
Like to start conversation, you ask lots of
Questions.
moms love talking about two things, themselves and
Kids.
Good. What's the red sheet concept? Fast start. How many days is your fast start?
10.
How long is your training?
10.
If you sell over $10,000 in your first 10 days, you get to go downtown to Miami with who?
You.
And I don't throw a
Party.
bad party.
Party.
I throw a party. Oh yeah. I don't throw a bad party. Who's the letter from? Good. How many people can win a scholarship?
50.
Is it based on major?
No.
What's it based on?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And when you say Cutco's awesome, how do you say it?
Cutco is awesome.
Why? Because if you get excited, what happens? Because people don't buy Cutco, they buy your.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, you got it. Cool. Nice job. All right, that's first step. Let's go to the next page. Outstanding. Second step to the sale. Ready? How many steps to the sale?
7.
Everyone, how many steps to the sale?
7.
First is 2, and then explain.
Why?
Second step is to establish credibility. You can put that at the top. Establish credibility. And who are we establishing the credibility of? Cutco, the company. The company. So, and just to remind you, let's go to the virtual. When you do the virtual appointment, you won't have a blue book to go through your goals. So, everyone, you can look up there. So you'll start the presentation like this. If I'm calling Miss Riley, who lives in North Carolina, 2.5 hours from High Point, and she's in front of her computer, she'll have this to start. And then what you'll do is you'll say, Miss Riley, when I say go, every time I say go, I want you to push the right arrow button. It'll go to the next screen. And that screen will be whatever matches up with your book. So when you're talking about goals, Miss Riley, can you hit the right button? What do you see? Well, it says, thank you for helping me reach my goals. Okay, cool. And you read the book. Got it? Okay, same thing here. So you went through the goals. Then you'll turn to this page. This is the company page. There's the company page. Any questions? Pretty straightforward. Okay, good. Let me do this real quick. Beautiful. Okay. So let's go to the next page, the top. Brianna, thank you for reading. Who's next to Ethan? Okay, Ethan, we'll start with before we begin.
Before we begin, we're going to need your favorites rated as my straight edge knife and steak knife. We'll also need a shiny penny as well as food to cut up and snack on. Okay, that's food you brought.
Okay, let me give you some hot sauce. Let me give you the 3 best foods to bring. I already said them earlier. The 3, ready? Grapes, carrots, tomatoes. Grapes, carrots, tomatoes. Grapes because you can slice it like bread. Carrots because you'll peel it with the peeler. And tomatoes because the most impressive thing you can do in the first 30 minutes is cut a tomato and it doesn't squish all over the place. That's super impressive. Okay, Ethan, continue.
Today I'll tell you why Cutco is the top-selling American brand made in the U.S. Then we'll take a look at our product line and then review prices and specials up next.
Okay, then the blank is Mrs. Jones.
Mrs. Jones, I only work through referrals, so I hope you like me and Cutco enough to tell some friends about it.
Okay, so we're just getting warmed up. Okay, and Mrs. Jones is obviously whatever their last name is. Okay, and then continue.
Let me tell you a little bit about the company.
And then you'll point to the company page here with your pen. Can I see it up here? And then on the virtual, you'll have that on the screen. Keep going.
Since 1949, all Cutco knives have been made in the United States and are factored in Olean, New York.
Okay, everyone repeat that for me. Ready? Olean.
Olean.
One more time. Olean.
Olean.
Okay, it's not Olean, it's Olean. Okay? There are a few tongue twister words you just have to practice. One more time. Olean.
Olean.
It's 1949. Keep going.
We sell over $200 million worth of Cutco annually and have over 16 million customers.
So you can actually, here's what's really cool. You can cross out 200. It's actually 260 million. Isn't that cool? What does that show? Growth, yeah. Keep going.
And you may have seen us on TV on shows like Modern Marvels and Made in America. It's one of the only products you can buy once, use every day, and never have to replace. Cutco is a proud producer of many KA bar knives used by both military and law enforcement agencies.
Okay, stop for a second. So it's pronounced K-bar. Repeat after me. Ready? K-bar.
K-bar.
One more time. K-bar.
K-bar.
Olean.
Olean.
Another tongue twister. Serrated.
Serrated.
That's the knife with the teeth. Ready? One more time. Olean.
Olean.
K-bar.
K-bar.
Serrated.
Serrated.
Gamboa.
Gamboa.
Good one, right? Okay. Tough crowd. Tough crowd. Come on. So this is K-bar. Okay. How's this for credibility? We are the official standard issued manufactured US made knife of the United States Marine Corps. So if you're in the Marines, you get a K-bar. In fact, I have some examples here. We have different versions, like this is an award, but this is like the zombie version, right? It's got like the green zombie, okay? This is an actual Marine Corps, and at the bottom it says USMC, United States Marine Corps. That's pretty cool. This is like a commemorative version, okay? And then this is the camping version for customers, because most of them wouldn't use that. They would use something like this. You can take a look. It's got the little double D edge here to cut through the branches when you want to pull the twigs up and make your campfire. And it's got the sharp knife for hunting or for any camping needs. It's got the case and the belt loop, okay? So one of the things that's really important is just to remember that our products, the purpose of this page is to help increase established credibility for the customer, okay? We'll keep going. Thanks, Ethan.
Cutco is involved with many local and national charities.
Okay. One of the local charities, you can put where it says ... Because you want to, there's a space underneath that's blank. We'll leave that blank for now. Where it says ... It's called Angel Wings International. Angel Wings International. It's a nonprofit started by that #1 rep I was telling you about, who's at 3 million. We actually, through Cutco donations and through Cutco fundraising, we were able to start a free health clinic in Haiti a few years ago for all the victims from the earthquake several years ago. So it's one of our local charities. I'll give you more information as we get through. Okay, and the last part is now, check it out, we want to catch the customer's attention. So we're going to cut the penny and then peel with the peeler. So Ethan, let's wrap it up.
To start off, I'd like to show you 2 products that demonstrate the quality of Cutco. Super shears. Everybody loves our shears. That penny take apart.
Okay, stop for a second. Yeah, put yeah, every time.
Don't read.
Like, don't read that part. But if you do by accident, what do you do? Yeah, I'm so sorry. Like I did that my first 2 presentations. I would say, Miss Gabby, everyone loves their shears. Cut pit. It's okay. You're new. Remember you said you were new? So in parentheses, where it says cut penny, take apart, put together, hand shears to the customer. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll cut the penny, and I'll show you the video in a second. And after you cut the penny, what do you say? Go ahead.
The high carbon stainless steel makes them good for everything in the kitchen, as well as indoor and outdoor projects. They're just dishwasher safe and come apart for easy cleaning.
And take a look at the video. So you've already seen it live in the interview. Let me show you. So the reason we cut a penny is because it's really, really hard. And most scissors, if you tried to cut a penny, you would instantly break the scissors. So if you notice, and anytime you have a video with the customer that's virtual, you're just gonna walk them through the video, almost like giving them a play-by-play. You guys are familiar with that? Have you ever sent a YouTube video? Right? Have you ever sent a YouTube video to your friend and were explaining it as they were watching it? It's the same exact thing. This is the part that's so hard. Ready? You ever cut plastic packaging? You skip the point. And then the next part is we'll cut the peeler. Look how awesome the peeler is. And it also has a double edge to it, so it doesn't just cut forwards, it also cuts backwards. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? Has anyone ever been in charge of this? You were the third group to say that. ASMR, so that's called? Okay. So let's read that part. Ethan, go ahead. You got to try out.
You've got to try out this peeler.
Yep.
It peels in both directions. All of our gadgets and accessories are guaranteed forever and dishwasher safe. A lot of customers end up getting one of these two items for free. I'll show you how later. Let me show you where we got the idea for Cutco.
Okay, let's stop for a second. Let's just do the review. Ready? How many steps to the sale? 7. The first step is to and explain why you're working. Second step here is to establish the credibility of who?
Cutco.
Yeah, okay. What year was Cutco made?
1949.
What city?
New York.
What part of what state?
New York.
How much do we sell every year?
260,000.
Good. What 2 products do we use to catch their attention? Nice job. See? Trying to remember that. Good job. Okay. Third step. Third step is to create a problem. So go ahead and create a problem at the top of page 3. So then you'll turn here. Take a look. You'll go to this page, which has the old junky knife page, and then the virtual, it'll look the same exact way. Okay? Thank you, Ethan, for reading. I think, Alex, we had you reading next. Okay, and we'll say Mrs. Jones, most people, and I'm going to write some things on the board here for hot sauce. Go ahead, Alex.
Mrs. Jones, most people have the world's most expensive set of knives. The average knife set is designed to last 2 years, so most households waste a ton of money replacing cheap knives over and over. Let me show you this on paper.
Okay, stop for a second. Here's some hot sauce. Circle that sentence. Let me show you this on paper. Circle that sentence. Let me show you this on paper. Hot sauce is this. People are visual, right? If you went to a store like Walmart, how do you know what things cost at Walmart? How do you know how much things cost at IKEA? Yeah, they always have price tags. Why?
So you know the price.
Yeah, because they don't just say it to you. You have to, what? You have to see it. So here, and you know this, what's the same? Seeing is believing. Also, people process numbers visually. So imagine this to be an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Okay. May I borrow your binder real quick? This fee? Thank you so much. So this is 8.5 by 11. So this size paper. Okay. I'm going to show you throughout the presentation. Whenever we discuss numbers, you have to write them down because customers are visual. That's my hot sauce. Got it? So let me give you an idea. He's about to read some numbers. Slowly, Alex, as you read each sentence, I want you to pause so I can write it down. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And you can write this probably, if you want, wait till I'm done, in the top right-hand corner where there's white space. Okay, go ahead, Alex.
You probably know this better than I do.
I'm sorry, a little bit louder. You can project out loud.
You probably know this better than I do, but cheap knives have a lot of problems.
Uh-huh.
They also cost a lot of money over time.
Okay, now we're going to show how much money they waste. Go ahead.
Average junk knife is about $10.
Keep going.
Average of 8 knives in a set is $80 for a set.
Uh-huh.
And replaced every 2 years for 40 years is 20 replacements, which is $1,600 for junk knife.
Okay, and this is what my paper looks like. And I even put the sad face. Why? What am I trying to emphasize? That what?
What is the money?
It's not good. Okay. Now, to you, that's a ton of money. To a soccer mom, what's $1,600? It's a laptop for their kid. You can't even go to Disney for $1,600. You guys know that, right? Okay, what's
Family or
no way. You can go by yourself.
I mean, people maybe.
2 people maybe, but when you're taking a family, you're talking 2 to 5 G's, depending on what and how you want to do it. Okay? So $1,600, I want them to show that's just a waste of money. And notice how I use the whole piece of paper. Because if you draw it small, you might be able to see it, and they won't stop you. Like they won't say, "Oh, Faith, honey, I can't read that. Can you write bigger for me?" They'll go like this. They'll just smile, but they won't process. You guys see that? Thumbs up if you understand that. It's really important to write. Okay, beautiful. And let me give you hot sauce number 3. Whenever you say a number that you want to emphasize, say it so it's longer. Ready? This is Mrs. Jones is $1,600 versus $1,600. But when you say our prices, how should you say it? Yeah. Let's say the set's like $3,500 or $4,000. Mrs. Jones, it's like $3,500. Versus this is $1,600. That's like $3,500. Like $1,600, $3,500. Okay, you guys got that. Good. Continue, Alex.
There are 2 types of handles. Wood handles are effective when used, but they are extremely unsanitary.
Okay, it says gross face. So you'll point to the wood handle here. Okay, keep going.
They absorb liquids, bacteria, grease, and germs and retain odor. In several states, restaurants don't use wooden handles because of sanitation concerns.
Okay, so let me show you a couple examples of wooden handles. These are gross. Okay, and don't worry, these are not sharp. So. Look at that, right? What do you notice with the wood? The older ones look dried up or they're still moist. That's nasty, okay? Wood is a porous material. For all my science majors, what's porous mean? It has holes in it, right? What does that mean? It absorbs water, moisture, ready? Also, ready? Oil, palm sweat, chicken blood, grease, and ready? You put these into the dishwasher, and what does the dishwasher do? It takes off all the dirt from the plates and swirls it around. It absorbs that too, and then you touch your handle, and then you don't wash your hands, you need that potato chip. Might as well lick the handle. Would you lick the handle? No, but you might as well if you're going to touch this and then touch your food and eat your food. Gross, right? In fact, what does it say in parentheses to the right? What kind of face? It says gross face. So what do you think you want to do to get the point across when you're talking about a gross handle? You want to make that like that dirty diaper face, like this. Okay, here's why. Let me show you the sales behind it. So communication. This is cool. You may have learned this in speech class. I'm going to teach this to you here. Communication. There are 3 percentages of how you effectively communicate. 15, 30, and 55%. 15% of communication are the words that you use. Okay? What's your sentence structure? What words are you using in the language, right? Because we're in South Florida, think about this. We have all different types of wonderful nationalities here: Caribbean, South American, Latin, European. And how many of you know someone that their words, their English is actually not that good? However, they're still a really good communicator. It's like all of South Florida, isn't it? Why? Because it's only 15%. In other words, it's not what you say. What is it? It's how you say it. So that's the 30%. It's voice inflection. It's the tone that you use. It's if you're really excited, how do you speak? If you're sad, you can tell someone's sad. All right, gentlemen, if you have a girlfriend, why are you mad? I'm not mad. Nothing's wrong. Ooh, something's wrong. I'm fine. Oh yeah, don't ever believe that one. I'm fine. No, go with your friend. Oh, all right.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
That's the best one. Have a good time.
Ready? Voice inflection. Mrs. Jones, Cutco is awesome. Mrs. Jones, Cutco is awesome. Yeah, Mrs. Jones, it's really gross. Those are all examples. But the biggest way to communicate and how you will not just sell a lot of Cutco, but really learn how to connect with people is when you understand 55% of communication is body language. Body language. It's not what you say. Again, what is it? It's how you say it, but actions speak louder than words. So watch, I wouldn't even say anything. What emotion am I trying to convey? Ready? Yeah, how about this?
Silence.
How about this? Like, what the heck, right? Okay. I don't have to say anything. My dad was good at this. Right? I do something wrong, he'd go. And part of it was, just say something. Just say something. But it was worse, okay? Body language. So when you're talking about wooden handles, Mrs. Jones, wooden handles absorb dirt, bacteria, fate. It's disgusting. See my face? It's really powerful because it'll help convey the point. But don't make the wrong face. Watch. This is how powerful it is. Look how confusing this makes the customer feel. Miss Faith, wooden handles, they really absorb grease, dirt, and bacteria, and it's really unsanitary. Like what? It's confusing. Why? Because actions speak louder than words. So gross face, gross handles. That also applies to when you make the sale. So let's say you get down to this part, and they really want the set because they only get nice things in the kitchen. So they get this set. It's called the complete. And you say at the end, so Miss Faith, that's the negotiation, that's the deal my manager can make for you on the set. So I wouldn't be doing my job today if I didn't ask you, did you want to go ahead and get this set? What am I doing? I'm nodding yes, because it encourages a yes versus watch this. So did you want to get this set? That's like, say, you have a friend that does this, they go, ew, taste that. I'm not tasting that, because they make what kind of face? Gross face, same thing, okay? Any questions on body language? Okay, is that new for some of you? Don't forget that. We'll keep going. Alex.
Plastic handles are usually cheaply constructed, so they melt, chip, crack, and break. They're slippery when wet, which is extremely dangerous while you're cutting.
Okay, and this is an example of a plastic handle, and it's dangerous, so what kind of face do we make? Concern. If you take a look in the book, it says concerned face. Got it? And you can just take a look at these. These all look very slippery. Also, if you keep this by the stove, what happens? It can melt, and also it can, if you drop it, they're less durable. What happens? It's plastic, okay? And you can even see the scratches when you drop it. And the problem with these knives is not just that they scratch, but they're slippery. So what happens? What can happen? Yeah, it can fall out of your hand, and where does that hit?
Or the dog or the baby.
Or the dog or the baby. I'm serious. That's crazy. Okay. Also, the other way you can cut yourself, watch this. If you're cutting and it's greasy, let's say the knife's not sharp, it catches on the food, your finger goes on the blade. This is where you cut your finger. Okay, true story. On Sunday mornings, Saturday mornings, it's the highest frequency of families having brunch together or breakfast, and that's when a lot of emergency rooms will have people coming in for just a little nicks on the finger and getting stitches because of things like that. Okay. Any questions so far? So what's wrong? Let's just compare. What's wrong with wooden handle knives? Okay, what's wrong with plastic handle knives? It's dangerous. Got it. And they don't work. They break. Next one, construction. Alex.
Common knives are constructed very poorly. Most knives have a partial tang with less steel, making them weak and unbalanced, so they break easily.
Okay, circle the word tang and put an arrow coming out of it. So we'll define it. Tang is defined as how far the blade goes through the handle. I'll give you an example. How far the blade goes through the handle. So if you look here to your left, this blade goes all the way up and down through the handle. Okay. And then this knife, it stops. See the difference? Stops here versus all the way through. That's a partial tang. And why would a company only use a partial tang? To save some money. But the problem is that it can be really unbalanced and really break easily. So let me give you an example. You can use your pen. This is my hot sauce tip. You can use your pen to show this to the customer. So everyone take your palm up. Okay. Take your pen. I want you to put it halfway through your hand. Not all the way, but halfway. Close the pen. So this is the tang, halfway, and this is the handle. So if you go like this, where do you feel the jabbing? In the center of the hand. That means when that handle breaks, if it's wood, where's the handle going to break into? Right into your palm. That's dangerous. That's concern face. But also, if you do this enough, what happens? It'll break off. Versus now, do a full tang. Put it all the way through. What don't you feel anymore? There's no stabbing. Okay, and that's not going to come out. So what's better, partial or full tank? Yeah, you can show with your pen. So if you want to write down pen, you can do that. Okay. Alex.
Most rivets are made of brass. It expands, contracts, and loosens, creating unsanitary gas.
Okay, circle the word rivets and put an arrow coming out of it. And the rivets are the nails. The rivets are the nails. So if you notice here, this knife to your left has 3 rivets. This knife only has 2 rivets. Okay. The problem with brass rivets, brass is a really soft metal. So when you put a soft metal into heat, like the dishwasher, what happens to metal? And then when you take it out, what happens? It contracts, but it stretches the wood. What's the problem with that? Well, now there's holes and gaps. What's the problem with that? Now food gets caught in that. What's the problem with that? The food doesn't come out. What's gross about that? It molds and it stays there. So paper is the closest. What colors? I got a really good one. Oh yeah. Ooh. What colors do you see around the rivet? Like what color? Yeah, what color is that? Yellow and green. Good face. That's right face. I guess. All right. So it's really unsanitary. That's food and oxidation. So ready? Rusting and just food that didn't get washed off, molding. Different colors. Close. You don't want to touch that. But see, someone says, well, we don't really use that knife. Then why is it in the drawer? Raise your hand if you go at home and you know if you open the drawer, there's just a whole bunch of different knives in that drawer. The same thing. Okay? So let's do that. What's the rivet of a knife? Okay, what's the tang of a knife? Got it. Okay, let's continue. 2 types of steel, Alex.
There are 2 types of steel. Carbon steel is strong, but it rusts and corrodes, which is unattractive and unsanitary.
Okay, so you'll point to the carbon steel up here. Okay. And let me show you what that looks like. Now, people don't really buy this anymore. It's more old school, but you can see why. Look, it rusts and it goes into the food. Okay. But the reason people used to buy these and they're really popular is when they're new, they're really, really sharp. They hold a nice edge. Okay, but what's wrong with it? It's gross, right? Make the yucky face. Okay, Alex, keep going.
Stainless steel looks good, but it's a soft metal, so it won't stay sharp.
Okay, so this is stainless steel. Notice it's not nasty. Okay, these are the stainless steel knife. Okay, the problem is that it dulls really quickly. Also, it bends. Watch. I just pushed a little bit. Now it's bent. So if this bends, it's the thick blade. What happens to the knife edge? It dulls right away. Okay. So what's wrong with stainless steel? It's too soft. Okay. What's wrong with carbon steel? It's gross. Okay. Keep going.
And it is difficult to sharpen. Have some of your knives gone dull over the years due to dull?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Yeah, all the time. We have a whole drawer full of them. Keep going.
There are 2 types of edges. Serrated edges rip and tear your food and cannot be resharpened.
Okay, so let me show you. This is what a serrated edge looks like with the teeth. Okay, it's like this one. What happens? Well, it rips and tears through the food, but eventually what happens to the points? Yeah, they go dull and look like this. It doesn't even cut anymore. Okay, keep going, Alex.
Straight edges make a smooth cut, but they have to be sharpened to remain effective.
Okay, so this is a straight edge. Right? It's sharp, but as soon as it hits the cutting board, it goes dull really quickly. Smoother cut than this, but doesn't stay sharp very long. And then I want you to explain, Alex, the next part about what makes knives go dull.
The hard cutting surface dulls the knife, but not the food. Both of these edges directly contact the cutting board, dulling them quickly. A dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp one because you have to push hard.
Now think about this. Do you want a dull knife or a sharp knife in general? Yeah, surgeons, right? My fiance, she operates. Why does she want the absolute sharpest knife possible? Okay, number 1. Number 2, precision and ease. Same thing with knives. If you have less of a blade, you have to push harder. That's more slippage, and that's more dangerous. It's actually from the Boy Scouts. A sharp knife, a dull knife is a dangerous knife. Okay? Oh, let me wrap this up. Sorry. That last bottom part is if they already own, not junk. I just showed you junk. Okay, this is stuff that people buy at Walmart, Target, IKEA, all those places. If they have nicer, like a BMW, Lexus, or Mercedes type knife, then at the bottom, that's what you'll read, okay? And Alex, you don't have to read the whole thing, but what are the 3 reasons why those knives aren't good? Even though they're high quality, they cost more money. What are the 3 reasons?
They need to be sharpened regularly.
Yep.
They must be hand washed, and they need to be replaced every 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, and that's kind of a pain. And ready? When I say they have to be sharpened constantly, they stay sharp longer than Walmart knives. The problem is it's recommended for daily sharpening. Okay? And here's what I'll say. There are people that sharpen their knives daily. They're called cooks and chefs. But we don't sell to cooks and chefs. In fact, chefs hate our product. You tell me. Who's worked in the kitchen? Yeah. How do you treat the knives in the kitchen? Yeah, so they get trashed. Number 2, chefs are more particular. We are a domestic product. It's domestic. For the home, for a mom that doesn't have time. Okay, those customers, those chefs, they have knives that cost not $1,000 to $4,000 for a set. It's $1,000 to $4,000 for one knife. My cousin's a professional chef. He's got a $3,500 knife he uses for one thing, another $1,000 knife he uses for another thing. He has Cutco at home though. He has Cutco at home for his wife. Cool, but he won't let his wife touch that $3,000 knife. See that? Okay. So far, so good? All right, let's do a quick review. Ready? And we'll do a stretch. Ready? How many steps to the sale? First step is to and explain why you work. The second step is to establish. Third is to offer A. Oh, no, sorry. Third is to create A. Right, what's the problem? Yeah, their knives usually are not so hot. Okay? Why is this an expensive set if you know, even though it's like $10 a knife? Yeah, and what's the math come up to on average? How much they spend? How do you say it? $1,600. What's wrong with wood handle knives? What's wrong with plastic handle knives? What's the tang of a knife? How do you show the tang to a customer? Okay, what's wrong with straight edge knives? What dulls a knife? Let's try. Turn the person next to you, give them a little high five, and say, "Hey, you got this." Yeah, then turn to the other person and say, "I didn't forget about you." Oh, I didn't forget about you. Okay, so far so good. All right, let's do this. We're gonna go to the last 2 sections and take a full break, but let's do a quick standing stretch. Put your stuff down, stand up, follow me. And put some music on real quick. Okay, this next part. Oh yeah, we'll keep it in that. This next section, I want to do for you live. So I want to emphasize a couple of things. So let's start really. Let's do a quick review. How many steps to the sale? First step is to explain why. Second step is to establish credibility. Then you create a problem. Now we're going to offer a solution. Yes, sir. Turn to page 4 and write down offer solution at the top. Now you're on this page, which has our solution, which is Cutco. And then on the virtual appointment, it looks the same way. Looks the same. Okay? So I'm going to pretend Riley, you're going to be my aunt, okay? So Aunt Riley, the coolest aunt I have. So you can follow along, and I want you to read with me. But ready? Don't focus so much on what I'm saying. You have the words. I want you to focus on how I'm saying it. Why is this the most important page of the presentation? Offering the solution.
You're selling the product.
You're selling the product, yeah. You're creating value, okay? And one thing I'll show you later is that when the value of a product is really high, how does the price look? Higher, bigger, or smaller? Smaller. If you don't build a lot of value, the price doesn't change. How does the price look? Bigger. So what doesn't change? Yeah, money, the price, we don't change prices. The price is the price. So the key to making a sale is value. Okay, so we'll talk about this. So we'll say Aunt Riley, okay? So go over here. So there are 5 features that make Cutco the world's finest set. Oh, sorry. If I say some things that aren't in the book, feel free to add it. It's the hot sauce. Okay. So Aunt Riley, there are 5 features that make Cutco the world's finest set of cutlery. And we are the Ferrari of knives, Aunt Riley, just so you know. So let me show you. Let me grab my bag here. Okay. All right, Aunt Riley, you ready?
I guess.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, the Ferrari. Okay, actually, you know, pull your chair up. Let's do it live. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you. You can follow along to any book. So I'll reach down to my bag. Okay, Aunt Riley, ready? This is the Ferrari of knives. You ready? Okay. Take a look. And how does that feel in your hand?
It's light.
You like it's light, right?
Yeah.
And you feel the fingers come together. It's natural, right?
Yeah.
So just so you know, the first feature is called a universal wedge lock handle. It fits any size hand. You can hold on to it. The universal design locks your hand into place, increasing control and safety while reducing hand fatigue. Just so you know, this makes Cutco way more expensive. Okay, but it's worth it because you always have a comfortable and safe handle. The second thing, Mrs. Jones, if you take a look, is the thermoresin handle. So I'm going to point to it. See that handle right there? Thermoresin handle will never trip or crack. It's actually similar to material found in bowling balls and football helmets. So it's really, really durable. It's an expensive material to use, but it's worth it because it's dishwasher safe and it's super sanitary. You can just throw in the dishwasher. Miss Riley, the third feature is our full tang construction. If you notice, remember the pen I showed you earlier? So notice here on top, it goes all the way through. That's a full tang. And
All the way around.
yeah, all the way around actually. Using the extra steel is definitely more expensive, Miss Riley, but it's worth it because it creates strength and balance. And the 3 nickel silver rivets, if you look at the nails, they're flush with the handle. So if you go like this, notice they're they're smooth, so you won't be able to catch food around that. And it makes it stronger and more sanitary. Also, the 4th feature is the steel. So if you look closely at the metal, take a look, you can see yourself in there. The steel is expensive to use, but it's worth it because it has the best of both worlds. It's got high carbon steel for edge retention, meaning it just stays sharp. And it's stainless for beauty, making it sanitary, and it's really sharp. So the 5th feature, it's our most famous, and it's our exclusive Stay Sharp Double D Edge. So let me show you a quick demonstration to show you the edge. Okay, you can put that down. So Ms. Riley, this is my cutting board to protect. We're going to do some cutting here. And I have this piece of rope. And this rope is meant to simulate really tough fibers found in overcooked roast beef and really tough fibrous vegetables. Okay? But also, it's not going to hurt your knives. So let's take your old knives here. Okay, so these are your 2 best knives, Mrs. Jones? Okay. So we're going to start off by taking your straight edge knife. Okay, you lefty. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide you. I'm going to hold the rope onto the cutting board. I want you to start from the back of the knife, push down, and the goal is to try and go 1 stroke. And if it doesn't go through once, you just go back and forth. Let's keep the strokes long, and then I'm going to count like a contest. Okay, so I'm going to grab your wrist for closely. Let's see. So starting here, okay. So, time out. Notice I grabbed her wrist so that I can what? So I can control, okay? Start right there. So stop right there. And I'm going to twist the rope because it makes it easier to cut when I say go. Push down real hard. Go for it. 1, and you can push forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, 22. If you look at the cut, feel the cut. Smooth. That's a straight edge, but you notice it takes forever to get through. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort. Then you take straight edge. Okay. Same exact test. Okay. And when I say go, and you're going to hear the difference too. When I say go, same thing. Go for it. 1, long strokes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then go. Stop for a second. And if the customer doesn't get through, you can stop them and go, you can get the point, right? If you get the point, okay. Ferrari. You ready? Are you ready? Same exact thing. Okay. When I say go, right here. You're going to push down. I'm going to pull towards you. Ready? 1, 2, go for it. Wow. Let's do it again. Watch. Watch. You can pull fast towards you when I say go. Ready? 1, 2, pull. Isn't that awesome? And look at the cut.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Just like the smooth cut. Now that edge is called our double D edge. So let me show you this on paper. So Miss Riley, if you take a look, a straight edge will cut through the food, but it dulls every time it hits the cutting board. So it's a straight cut, it's smooth, but it takes forever to, and it's hard to resharpen.
Right.
Okay, and it dulls quickly. Then we have the serrated edge with the teeth, and you could hear the difference. Okay, and it rips and tears through the food. Eventually, those are going to become dull, and it looks like this, and you can't resharpen it. Okay, our edge is called the double D edge. That stands for double durable. Okay. And the points look like this. Okay. So if you notice, Mrs. Jones, these points look like they're serrated edge, but they're not. All they do is they hit the cutting board, and they protect 3 razor sharp edges. It cuts forwards, downwards, and backwards. So that's why it cut through so quickly. Okay. And that's what's cool is that the points don't do any of the cutting. It's the blades, but they never hit the cutting board. So what that means is you don't have to sharpen cut for every single use, and it lasts anywhere between 10 plus years before you need any servicing. How cool is that?
Awesome.
Yeah. And Miss Riley, let me also tell you, the points protect the recessed edges, so they can still be resharpened, but you don't need to do it for up to 10 years. Also, while most knives have this double D edge, we do have some knives that I'll show you that do have a straight edge, because some cuts require just a straight up and down cut versus the back and forth. Okay. And this unique edge uses really expensive technology, but it's really worth it because it's the best. It's Ferrari. Cool. Okay, stop there. First of all, what a great customer. Riley, snaps for Riley, snaps for Riley. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead. Okay, you can go back. So, ready? Let's talk about the music. You got the words, you just read along with me. What did you notice in terms of that page? What are things you saw? What was commonly said? What stood out? I'll give me one thing. By the way, are you from Jamaica? I can tell. Got the cool Jamaican accent. Wagwan. Okay, go ahead.
I can hear that. I noticed that you repeat how expensive the quality is.
Yeah, in fact, that's my first hot sauce. At the top, real big and circle it. And at the bottom, real big and circle it. Write down expensive. You write the word expensive. Okay. Contrary to belief, we don't want to hide that it's expensive. In fact, we want to emphasize it's expensive. Why? Because the more expensive they feel, what goes up? Value. And what's that going to make the price look like? Small. And think about it this way. If money were not an issue, don't think like a broke college student. Think like a mom. Right? And for the most part, money, if they want to get something nice, won't be an issue. You want the cheap pair of shoes or the nice shoes? The nice shoes. You want the cheap laptop or the expensive laptop? Yeah, cheap house, expensive house. Why? Because expensive means nice quality. Okay, nice quality. So people prefer that. Cutco is not cheap. What card did I refer to us as? Ferrari. That's the other tip. I would totally tell them, Mrs. Jones, we're Ferrari. And how did I say it? I said, Mrs. Jones. Right? Because it's not what you say.
Nice.
Yeah, and every time I gave her the knife, I gave it to her with 2 hands. Notice in your book it says present, like polish and present at the very top. It doesn't say hand. If you notice, I would hand them her knife, But then when it came to our knife, I would say Mrs. Jones, Ferrari. How many hands? What does it show without me even saying it? Expensive. That's important, right? But I just give you it. But here's, I even say it almost cheesy in a way. I go, Mrs. Jones. Okay. Why? Because it's not what you say, it's always how you say it. What else did you notice? So expensive. Ferrari.
Even though you said it's expensive, technically, but it's worth it.
Yes. And every time I say it's expensive, but it's worth it. It's expensive, but it's worth it. It's like you going to your parents for prom. Miss Mom, well, we're going to get the big limo, but it's going to be, what's that?
You said Miss Mom.
Oh, Miss Mom. Okay. Hey, Miss or Mom. Yeah, we're going to get this limo, but it's going to be a good limo. It's worth it. Yeah, but it's not. It's a good limo before you give the price. Why? Because the higher you give the you hype it up, the price is not as much later. What else did you notice? Go ahead.
Even reading off this, you didn't sound about it.
Yeah, but by the way, I was reading it word for word. Word for word. Okay? But it still seems smooth. And by the way, 10% of you will not even look or sound smooth at all, and you will still build value because of your enthusiasm, your belief, and you just follow the manual. Good. Okay? And then, of course, the rope test. What did you notice with the rope test? Whose knives do we use first? Yeah, theirs first. Why? You want to compare. And let's just say you want to save the best. Save the best for last. Any questions so far? Okay, let's go through this page real quick. Yes, Cam.
So after like 10 years of their lives, like we talked about,
Actually, you know what? We're going to do the guarantee right after. I think I might answer your question. If not, can I answer it later? Yeah, okay. Just in case. I think I'm going to answer it. Okay, so let's go here. I need 3 more readers to be my volunteer readers. You ready, Red? And thank you. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Okay, Gabby, we'll start at the top where it says there are 5 features. Make sure you write offer solution at the top. Offer solution at the top of page 5. Got it? Gabby, when you're ready.
There are 5 features that make Cutco the world's finest set of cutlery.
Okay, hot sauce number 1, write down Ferrari. Mrs. Jones, this is the Ferrari of knives. See, ready? Think of cars. This is Miss Gabby. This is a Kia. Miss Faith, I've got this brand new Camry. Nice. That's nice. I got my first car. I got a Jeep Cherokee. Oh, wow. Okay. It's just, I have a BMW Mercedes. I have a Ferrari. I don't have to say anything, you know, right? That's why we use Ferrari. You could do Lamborghini, you could do Rolls Royce. I just like Ferrari. You could say Ferrari, okay? And I even say it that way. Remember, it's not what you say, it's Mrs. Jones. You're at the Ferrari, and I get my voice. So, Mrs. Jones, you're at the Ferrari of knives. When you walk into a dealership, they don't say, "Hey, welcome to Ferrari." They go, "Welcome." Why? Because they want you to know this isn't a dealership. This is Ferrari. This isn't knives. This is what? This is Cutco. Okay. Go on,
How does that feel in your hand?
and that's a question. So what's the hot sauce? Wait for the response. Oh, honey, God, it is so comfortable.
The first feature is our universal wedge lock handle, which fits any size hand.
Okay, stop for a second. My second hot sauce, it says where it says present, circle the word present and make sure you write down 2 hands. Present, 2 hands. And you shut the door of a Kia, a used Kia. How do you shut the door? Or sometimes watch. Okay? How do you shut the door in a Ferrari? Or ready? Slowly. Slowly. Same exact thing. So present, not hand them. Go ahead.
The universal design locks your hand into place, increasing control and safety while reducing fatigue. This makes Cutco more expensive, but it's worth it because it's comfortable and safe.
Okay, and I want you to underline multiple times the word expensive. And I want you to emphasize expensive. Remember, when you emphasize expensive, what are you raising? The value. What does that make the price seem? Smaller. Got it. Keep going.
The second feature is our thermo resin handle material, which will never chip, crack, or break. It's an expensive material to use, but it's worth it because it's dishwasher safe and sanitary.
Okay, and underline expensive. I'm going to always stress, Mrs. Jones, and I think Brianna, you said this, it's expensive, but it is worth it. Keep going.
The third feature is our full tang construction. Using the extra steel is more expensive, but it's worth it because it creates strength and balance. The 3 nickel silver rivets are flush with the handle, making it strong and sanitary.
Okay, underline expensive. Plus some hot sauce. Remember I said thermoresin is similar to two things. Who wrote it down? Bowling balls and football helmets. So number 2, it's similar to bowling balls and football helmets. Good. Gabby, when you're ready. The fourth.
The fourth feature is our very high-grade steel. This steel is expensive to use, but it's worth it because it has the best of both worlds. It has high carbon for edge retention, and it's stainless for beauty, making it sanitary and sharp.
Yep, and of course, underline expensive. And then, Gabby, let's do the last and most important is how it cuts. So go for it.
The fifth feature is our most famous. It's our exclusive Stay Sharp Double D edge. Let's compare how the different types of edges work.
And then what you'll do is you pull out the cutting board, which we'll give you, and you have unlimited supply of rope and leather here in the office. Okay, so pull it out. Go ahead.
We cut rope because it's tough like vegetables and meats, but it won't hurt your knife's edge.
Okay, and why do we want to explain that? So make sure they don't think we're trying to what? Like sabotage or like damage theirs so ours are better. We don't have to, okay?
And remember, Cutco's sharp, so be careful.
Okay, and just to summarize, you'll do their knives first and then ours. Serrated is with the teeth, straight edges, straight, and then Cutco edge. Tomorrow we'll practice, but you have to, and here's my hot sauce tip, make sure you guide, hold their hands so they know where to cut, and teach them how to cut so they don't just do a quick sawing. You want them to do the long strokes, okay? And then once you cut through, what kind of reaction do you want to have? Remember, people don't buy Cutco, they buy what? Your enthusiasm, belief. If you cut through the rope, let's say Miss Gabby cuts through, go ahead, cut through. Cool, right? That's not enthusiastic, that's not belief. Versus, go ahead. Oh, did you see that? In fact, what did I have her do? I had her do it again. Because the first time she went, 1. I wanted her to go, whoo. So that's way more impressive. Okay? And once you do that, you'll just read through these points, the next 4 points. But my other hot sauce is anytime you're explaining numbers or diagrams, what do you have to do? Write it down. So let me show you what that would look like. I'm sorry, it would look like this. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you can use.
Unlike a serrated edge, Cutco's Double D edge has 3 straight edges that smoothly cut forward, backwards, and straight down.
Okay, so ready? This is the straight edge. This is the straight edge, and this is our edge called the Double D edge. And that looks just like this. And she even said, unlike a serrated edge, our points have a different function. And Gabby, when you're ready.
The points protect the recessed edges from dulling on the cutting board, keeping each knife sharp for up to 10 years, and they can still be resharpened.
Just take a look. See these points? These points don't cut. These points do. They just hit the cutting board and they protect 3 edges that cut forwards, backwards, and straight down. So go ahead, Gabby.
While most of our knives have the Double D edge for cutting back and forth, some Cutco knives have straight edges for chopping, dicing, and precision cutting.
Yeah, let me give you some rules of knives. So this is a Double D edge. It's a different type of knife. It's got the edge, and the motion is sawing back and forth. Okay. Then there are things like a straight edge, like this one. Okay, this is a veggie chopper, and you don't saw through your celery. That's weird. You rock up and down. Okay, you don't saw through the tops of strawberries. That's weird. You just go straight. Okay, so some people will say, well, how come if it's so sharp, why don't you put this on everything? Well, you wouldn't put heels on your sneakers. It's a different function. Okay. All the ladies are like, I understand that. Okay. So far, so good? Wrap it up.
This unique edge uses expensive technology, but it's well worth it.
Yeah, underline the word expensive. So let's stop here for a second. What are you taking and what's really important on this section? Number 1, Mark Anthony, showing them that it's expensive. Why? Yeah, it builds the value. What else is really important on this page? Yeah, showing, aka demonstration. What do you think? There's 2 things you're demonstrating or explaining. What's the demonstration? Yeah, the rope. Okay, what's the explanation?
Why double D edge?
Yeah, and the edge. Good. So far, so good? With me? The number 1 thing I want you to get from this page is that the more expensive they think it is, the lower, when you say $3,000, $4,000 for a set of Cutco, it's way smaller. Got it? Okay, good stuff. Let's go to the guarantee real quick. I'll just give you the bullets. At the top, write down offer solution. And Gabby, if you could just read the first paragraph at the top, the best thing.
The best thing about Cutco's are 4-part forever guaranteed. Cutco's one of the only products that you can buy once, use every day, and never have to replace. The product is your proof of purchase, and you can pass it down generation to generation.
Yeah, so here's what's cool. No receipt needed. I just bought a pair of Bose workout headphones. Right? I have the ones for the plane. They stick into your ear. They have a wire, and they're really light. They sound awesome, but they won't stay in my freaking ear. So I went to Best Buy. I can't return them. Why? I can get credit, but I can't get the money I want back. It's inconvenient. Here, if you have Cutco, that's the receipt. That's pretty cool, right? So here's the rest of the guarantee. I'll give you a summary. The first part is if we have a product that's not good when they get it, we'll replace it for free. The forever sharpness is it's really what it says. If it's not sharp, even if they have had it for 15, 20 years, they just call the number up, they send it up, service it, it's sharpened for free. Okay. I want to talk about this for a second because I've had customers that have had Cutco since 1949. In fact, here's a set from 1949. Fully guaranteed. This customer had it refurbished. Look at that. Nicole, the handles look a little different, right? Swirled. Beautiful. So she's had this set. I bought this off the customer. I said, I'll give you a brand new set if I can have your old one. She goes, sure. So I sent these to the factory, and I said, this is old Cutco, and they can choose. They can either choose to get a new set or have this refurbished. Okay. You said Holy Smith, right? Holy Smith. That happened. Watch, no look. Right? This is from 1949.
So we do this one of our.
Isn't that awesome? Now, mind you, it wasn't like this all the way from 1949. At some point, what happened with the knife? It became dull, but how cool is that? And you ready? I didn't have to buy a new product. I just sent it back. Isn't that cool? For free. Okay? So I'll let you try that later. Third, unconventional use. That means if the customer jacks up the product, the company. So if I, for example, you're having a picnic and you bring some of the knives outside and you forgot one and it gets run over by the lawnmower. That's a true story, right? Then that's the customer's fault, so they'll replace it for half the price. And the last one, it's the most important one, it's the money back guarantee. This is why people who have never seen Cutco live will still buy $3,000, $4,000 sets when they see it online from you. This is why even if a customer has a husband where they always talk about things, the wife's willing to say, well, let me get it now because we can try it out at home before we make a final decision. Okay? They have 15 days, and the cool thing is it's 15 business days, so they can actually use the product, the entire set, for 3 weeks. That's pretty cool, right? So what does that take away? It takes away pressure. How many of you have purchased something from the internet? You didn't think twice because you knew you could return it if it didn't fit. That's how online works now, right? Any questions? Pretty straightforward? Okay. Last thing, and we'll go to break. Yes, sir.
So, no, you didn't answer my question. But the question I had was, if you had like a serrated knife and you wanted to get that sharpened, do you know how they sharpen the serrated knives?
Well, it's not serrated, it's double D.
I don't do double D, yes.
How, do I know how?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you get into our leadership academy, we fly up to the plant in October. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So there's a machine, and it's also hand. I'll think about this. When you think of things that are handcrafted or handmade, cheaper or more expensive? Yeah, our Double D Edge has elements of it that are handcrafted. So yeah, I'll show you a video later if you want. Cool. All right, let's go to the next page. Ready? Last one, and we'll go to our full break. Ready? All together. How many steps to the sale? 7. First is to connect and explain why you're working. How do you start conversation? Ask lots of questions. Second step is to establish. Then you want to catch their attention and hook their attention. What 2 products do we use? Yeah, that's right. What year was Cutco made in?
1949.
How many customers do we have?
260,000.
16 million, but we've sold over
260.
What's the name of our knife for the Marines?
K-bar.
K-bar, cool. When you talk about your goals, what's the red sheet? Fast start. What's the blue sheet? How many people can win a scholarship?
50.
Is it based on grades?
No.
Who's the letter from you can win?
President.
Who remembers how much you have to sell to get the letter? 30-30, yeah. Once you get to 10,000. Nice, okay. Then after you establish credibility, you want to create a, everyone create a, what's the problem? Yeah, and how much do you spend on average?
$1,600.
What's wrong with wooden handle knives? Yeah, and what kind of face do you make? Why? Because if you make the face, why? Because 55% of communication is what? It's not what you say, it's what actions speak. Good. And once you create a problem, we now offer a solution. Is our solution cheap? No. What is it? Why? The more expensive it is, what are you building? The higher the value, the lower the price. Nice. Okay, when you cut through the rope, whose knife's first?
Theirs.
What kind of reaction do you have when you cut with Cutco? Yeah. That's not surprised. Impressed, yeah. Or wow, enthusiastic. Got it? I'll say, and then the guarantee. Do you need a receipt? No. How long's the trial period to try it out?
15 days.
15 business days. Good. Nice job. Turn to your partner and go, yeah, you got this. And then the other person? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to do an abbreviated version so we can go to break. Page 6 and 7 at the top. I want you to write down create a need at the top of 6 and 7. Create a need. Okay. Gabby, thanks for reading. Riley, you are up next, my friend. And at the top of page 6, we'll say, Mrs. Gamboa.
Mrs. Gamboa, you can buy individual pieces, but most customers agree that over a lifetime, sets are a much better value.
Okay, hot sauce number 1. What am I going to tell you?
No.
Yeah, cross out where it says you can buy individual pieces, but. So what should you say? Right, let's do that sentence again. Mrs. Gamboa.
Mrs. Gamboa, most customers agree that over a lifetime, sets are a much better value.
There you go. Ready? Having a closet full of shoes is way more efficient than having one pair of shoes. Having a set of golf clubs is way different than having one golf club. And ready for guys, having a toolbox of tools with an S is way better than having a hammer. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, keep going, Riley.
It's important to have the right tool for the right situation because of safety and efficiency.
Okay, and then right next to it, here's my next hot sauce. Where it says safety and efficiency, I want you to write down shoes, tools, golf. Shoes, tools, golf. Okay. Oh, no worries. Shoes, tools, and golf. I want you to tell a story to the customer about why you can't have one pair of shoes, one tool, or one golf club. Right? Ready? Faith, I'm going to be your Mrs. I'll be Miss Jeffrina, your favorite aunt. Okay? Explain to me why I don't want to have one pair of shoes.
Well, you don't want to have one pair of shoes because you have different shoes for different occasions.
Yeah. So therefore, you have
Lots of shoes.
lots of shoes, right? Same thing with golf clubs. Same thing with tools. Got that? Now, if you know one of the family members golfs, definitely say golf. They'll relate. Anyone here golf? Okay. Yeah, I mean, or you know how to golf, right? Same thing. Or if you know the dad's a handyman, definitely tools. But ready? All moms understand the shoe one. Okay, and who are you really selling to? The mom. Okay. Keep going.
We have 2 larger set options for customers who love to cook, called the Ultimate, Show Ultimate, and Signature, Show Signature.
Okay, so I'll go to that. So you'll say Mrs. Jones. Okay, we're on this page. Oh, side note, up here on the virtual. So you have the rope test. We'll show you the video tomorrow, how you cut the rope in the video. Then we do the double D edge, which is this. Okay. Then this is different for the virtual. This is the only thing that's different than here, is that we have a video of customers talking about product. It's called a testimonial. You guys familiar with that term? Testimonial means when you speak highly about the product, so you as a customer can get other people comfortable with the product. So for example, this is from the San Diego State Fair. I'll just show you a few seconds of this.
They're the best knives, and all the other knives I bought don't compare. You know, you have good knives in your kitchen? It's the best that I ever made, yeah. I've had my Petco for 25 years.
You've had our Petco more than 20 years.
It's almost 40 years. 15 years.
Okay, so what's happening? By showing that video, what happens if the customer's seeing it? What are you increasing? Credibility and value. Yeah, both. Good. So then here's the page you'll get to. And then Riley, that one sentence, can we repeat that? We have two larger set.
We have two larger set options for customers who love to cook, called the Ultimate and the Signature.
And then this is where you'll go, Mrs. Jones. This page, if you notice, folds out. Okay, and the three sets it shows are the three sets on my table right now. Okay, you got the one for you have to cook, if you like to cook, and if you love to cook or just want the nicest thing in your kitchen. Okay, you notice here it folds out. Okay, and my hot sauce tip here is the way you refer to the sets can make a big difference. So where it says called the ultimate set, I want you to cross out ultimate and write down complete. Take out the word ultimate and write down complete. Because when you think ultimate, how's that sound? Scary, extra, and big. When you hear complete, it's like, oh, well, everything you need. See the difference? So Mrs. Jones, I want to let you know, we have two larger sets for people who love to cook called the, what do you call it? The complete set and the signature set. Keep going, Riley.
But I'm going to start with the pieces in our basic set, which is the most popular. It's called the Homemaker +8.
Okay, Homemaker +8. So take a look. Watch what happens now. Mrs. Jones, now we do have two larger sets, Miss Riley, for people who love to cook. It's called the complete set. We also have the signature. But I'm going to start with our basic set for people who have to cook. It's called the Homemaker +8. How does the Homemaker +8 look now? It looks tiny. Okay. Now, by the way, some people don't care. They want the big set no matter what. But it's always making it easy, tiny, and basic. Got it so far? Okay. And it's called +8 because it has 8 table knives that you use to eat food every day at the bottom of the wood block. Okay. I'll show this in a second. So far, so good? And it looks like this all together. There's a black version, a white version, and just for this set, we even have a red limited edition version. But most of the people get black and white. Okay. The +8 are the 8 table knives at the bottom. So far, so good? Okay. Those two sentences one more time, but with the right phrase. Mrs. Jones, we have two. We have two larger sets.
Yeah, okay. We have two larger set options for customers who love to cook, called the Complete.
Okay, so I show complete.
And the Signature set.
Show the signature, but
I'm going to start with the pieces in our basic set, which is the most popular. It's called the Homemaker +8.
And finish the paragraph.
It has the minimum number of tools to do 100% of the jobs in your kitchen as efficiently as possible. It's the best value for the average family, and it starts with your...
And stop, and then you go through all the tools. Okay, and I like to go back to this page to go back in order. And now I have the basic tools. Why? This is the car. This is the car with the nicer rims. This is the car with the tricked out everything you need in the car. It's the same thing. So you start here, and in the white space right here, let me show you the 3 steps you take when you want to explain all the tools. It's pretty straightforward. Ready? So for all the tools, number 1, you give the name and nickname. You give the name and nickname of the knife. And number 2, you cut food, or you point. I'll explain what that means. And then number 3, you read the paragraph. You give the name of the knife and the nickname. You cut food, or you point to the picture, and then you read. Okay, let me give an example. Mrs. Jones is the best value for the average family and starts with your Perry knife, Miss Riley. Okay. The Perry knife is also known as the air knife because you only cut things up in the air. So here you go. Take this Perry knife. I want you to, that's a Ferrari. Okay. Now I want you to try and cut the top off of that tomato. See that? See how easy that is? Okay, great. The Cutco's air knife has a long handle that makes peeling and paring comfortable. You'll see this for small jobs in the air, or you'll use this for small jobs in the air, but rarely on the cutting board. That's why you have your trimmer. This is the Perry knife. Okay. That's why you have your trimmer. It's also called the small. It's the knife for small stuff. That's the nickname. So go ahead and cut the orange real quick. Yeah, do you see how easy that is? Okay, Mrs. Jones. That's your small utility knife for small fruits and veggies. If you notice, have you ever Or do you have a tomato or soft fruit we can cut? Okay, so you'll never smash a tomato again. See how easy that is? Yeah, mine has a pearl handle. You notice mine's white, as opposed to the first knife you saw, which is black. Which color do you like better, Miss Riley? You like the white one? Okay, great. Everyone loves the versatility, but it's never used for spreading or serving. That's why we have your spatula spreader. And notice, it says here, it tells you what food to cut. You don't have to think. So, Gabby, real quick, what's the first food that you want to cut with the air knife, the paring knife? Like if you look, yeah, it says, let the customer peel apple or potato, then you explain it. Okay, and then Riley, for the next knife, the second knife, what do you cut?
Tomato or orange.
Tomato or orange. Well, look at the third one. So, Miss Faith, what does it say in the parentheses? Point to. Yeah, point to the picture in the blue book because you won't have that knife to start. So instead of cutting, you just point to the book. And then you read the paragraph. So far, so good? And we'll practice this tomorrow. So it's name, nickname, cut or point, read the book. Rinse, repeat. Okay? Now in virtual, it's different because we use videos to do the demonstration. So Miss Riley, the first knife is the paring knife. It's the knife for up in the air. That's the nickname. And let me show you the video real quick. And you go through and check this out. So Miss Riley, if you notice, if you're watching, you see how it cuts up in the air. You never have to hit the cutting board. Okay. And you're using this as your demonstration. You see Mrs. Jones cuts the peels of potato, real easy, and never touches the cutting board. Okay? And when the video ends, you say, okay, Miss Riley, Cutco's air knife has a long handle which makes peeling and paring cut, so you'll read. Any questions? Okay. So what I want to do is I want to teach you the nicknames before we go to break, and we're not going to read through the whole thing because we're going to practice this tomorrow. Got it? So for the first knife, the paring knife, real big, right next to paring knife, I want you to write down air. Okay, let me take a look. This is the air knife. So you always cut up in the air. And notice, is it double the edge or is it straight? Straight. So you only go straight forward. You don't have to go back and forth. Okay? That's air. Second knife is called the trimmer. Ready? The nickname is small stuff. Nickname is small stuff. It's the knife for small stuff. So let me give you a rule of thumb for knives. Whenever you have a piece of food or fruit that you're cutting, you want the knife to be about double the size and length of the food. So for example, if this were a lime, that would be okay. But if it were a grapefruit, it wouldn't be enough. You would need the petite carver. But this carving knife would be way too much, right? So you want it to be about half. This would be good for a large mango, but not for a tomato. See that? Okay. So trimmer is for small stuff. The third one is the spatula. Okay, this is our version of a sandwich making machine plus a knife. So if you notice, it's very flexible and even makes a little noise. Listen. Right? And it's got the double the edge at the bottom to cut through. The nickname for this one is sandwich. It's the sandwich knife. Okay. What's the next tool called? The petite carver. Now, we already used the petite carver in the presentation. What did we cut through? Yeah, this is the rope knife. So the nickname for this one is meat. This is the meat knife. Okay. The next tool is your turning fork. Nickname for this is serving piece. Serving piece. Next is the butcher knife. Okay, the nickname for this is hard stuff. This is the knife for hard stuff. I'll show you the video in just a bit. Okay. The next tool in your set is called what? Petite chef. This is the veggie chopper. This is the veggie chopper. I think Brianna, you said that you rock back and forth, up and down. Veggie chopper. Turn the page. This is called the slicer. Anyone want to guess what this looks like? A knife you've seen. What's this for? Yeah, this is a bread knife. This is the bread knife. It's for bread. You know, veggie chopper, right, and then the slicers for bread. Okay. Then we have the carving set. The nickname for this is for holidays and barbecue. holidays like ham, roast beef, turkey, and then of course barbecue, which you can do year round. And then last but not least, what's the last tool? A table knife. A table knife, this is for, and the nickname is every day. Because you'll use these knives to prepare the food and cut the food and cook the food. You'll use this to eat the food. Okay, notice it's a cross between a butter knife and a steak knife. Okay, so you'll do 2 tests with the customer. You'll do a pair of scissors. Anyone see a pair of scissors? Yeah. So you'll have lots of leather, and you want to cut them into strips like this. And the way you do it is you always start with their knife first. I'll use this one. So for example, you'll do the normal back and forth test. Let me show you here. So Riley, or Aunt Riley. So Aunt Riley, we're going to do another test, but this time we're going to use leather, because leather is going to simulate really, really tough, overcooked, burnt steak. Not that you would cook steak like that. Okay. So, Miss Riley, you're lefty. There you go. Same thing, just like the rope. When we start from the back, notice I grab her hand to be safe. And I want you to pull, and if not, go back and forth. Go ahead. It's tough, right? It's not going to go through. Okay. And then I want you to try, put the knife on top like a piece of butter. Don't go back and forth, just push straight down. And that's not going to go through either. It's like, right, it's tough.
The knife's going to break.
Exactly. Ready for Ferrari? And notice every time I give her a knife, what do I say? And how do I say it? Ready for Ferrari? Okay. Okay. When I say go, ready, 1, 2, go ahead. Wow, awesome, right? And then the top, when I say go for it. Amazing. Okay, by the way, time out. Isn't that awesome?
That's weird.
Yeah. So we're catching their attention before we even go through the full set, before the set options are even done. I mean, that's super impressive. Okay, cool. And then afterwards, take a look at the middle of page 7. So we cut the leather, and then we're going to talk about storage options. So you'll click through all the different knives. All the knives have a video, which I'll show you tomorrow. So here are the wood blocks, and then here are the wood blocks. So you have it on the television, or you have it here. What's unique about our wood blocks is that they're coated with a resin, R-E-S-I-N. Resin is a coating that prevents absorption of water. Because normally what's wrong with wood? It's gross. But this has a resin to prevent that. Okay. And then the last things you could explain on page 7 is the cutting board. Our cutting board is unique because it's got a soft plastic. Instead of using gross wood or glass and marble, which will damage knives, ours is a good medium. It doesn't absorb dirt, but it's soft on the knife because it's plastic. Okay. And then the very last thing we'll cover are the gadgets. Our gadgets are also really sick. So think of it this way. The gadgets are for moms that will do things every day. And think about things that moms do every day. For example, what's this? Pizza cutter. Here's what's sweet about our pizza cutter. It's easy to clean. Isn't that cool? And it's also everything's under the guarantee. Isn't that cool? Then, you want to know what this is? It's a cheese knife. Ready? It doesn't stick. And I'll show you the video tomorrow. Okay. What's this? Our ice cream scoop is awesome because it's got the point to get to the corner, and when you put it on the on the kitchen countertop, the bottom doesn't touch the counter, so it doesn't get the chocolate or vanilla onto mom's tablecloth. She gets so pissed off at that, right? Okay. Then looks like a whale. All right. Can opener. And what's cool is that our can opener has a magnet, so after you cut through, you don't have to fish out the can, the top of the can. And it's dangerous because you cut your fingers sometimes, and it just pulls the top of the can out. Wow. Isn't that cool? Okay, so those are the gadgets, and that's where you stop before you present the price. Any questions so far? Okay, last thing. I'm going to teach you how to memorize the nicknames in less than 2 minutes before you go to break. You guys ready? You guys with me? Yes? Can I get a yes? Yes. Yes, here we go. Watch me. You don't even need your book. Follow me. So this is the paring knife, okay? What's this called? Paring knife. This is for up in the air. What's it for? Air. Ready? What's the nickname? Air. One more time. What's it for? Air. Because you never touch the ground. This is the trimmer. It's for small stuff. What's it for?
Small stuff.
Paring knife for up in the
Air.
Trimmers for small stuff. Good. This is the spatula. It's for sandwiches. What's it for?
Sandwiches.
Everyone, what's it for?
Sandwiches.
Trimmers for small stuff. Up in the
Air.
right? Paring knife up in the
Air.
trimmer for small stuff. Spatula for
Sandwiches.
a teak carver. This is the meat knife. What's it for?
Meat.
One more time. What's it for?
Meat.
Paring knife up in the
Air.
trimmer for
Small stuff.
spatulas for
Sandwiches.
this is the meat knife. Then you have the turning fork. This is the serving piece. What's this for?
Serving.
Up in the
Air.
trimmer for
Small stuff.
spatula for
Sandwiches.
the teak carver for
Meat.
this is the serving piece. The butcher knife. This is for hard stuff. What's it for?
Hard
One more
stuff.
time. What's it for?
Hard stuff.
Up in the
Air.
trimmer for
Small stuff.
sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Spatula for
Sandwiches.
this is the meat knife. This is the serving piece. This is for hard stuff. This is the veggie chopper. What's it for?
Veggies.
One more time. What's it called? Veggie
Veggie
chopper. One more time. Veggie chopper. Up in the
Air.
trimmer for
Small stuff.
spatula for
Sandwiches.
petite carver.
Meat.
Turning fork.
Serving.
This is the heavy duty knife. It's for what? Hard stuff. This is the veggie.
Chopper.
And this is for bread. What's it for?
Bread.
Everyone, what's this for?
Bread.
Up in the
Air.
trimmer for
Small stuff.
spatula.
Sandwiches.
Petite carver.
Meat.
Turning fork.
Serving.
Butcher knife.
Hard stuff.
Petite chef.
Veggie chopper.
Veggie chopper. This is for?
Bread.
This is for holidays and barbecue. What's it for?
Holidays and barbecue.
Up in the
Air.
trimmer for
Small stuff.
spatula.
Sandwiches.
Petite carver.
Meat.
Turning fork.
Serving.
Butcher knife.
Hard stuff.
Veggie.
Chopper. Bread.
Holidays and barbecue. How often do you use a table knife?
Every day.
Boom. Right? One thing I do want to show you though, we have a table knife, which is what people get for everyday cooking. It's like a butter knife with the edge that cut through the leather. But we just came out with a knife a few years ago, which is the talk of the town. Oh, sorry. It's called the steak knife. Okay. So this is awesome. But this is even better. It's the steak knife. It's the same exact function. You use this for breakfast, lunch, dinner, eating food. You can use this as a butter knife. You can use this as a butter knife. The difference is the length, and it also has the traditional look of a steak knife at a restaurant. Okay? So, watch this. Riley, you're going to be my customer again. Same thing at the top. Go straight down. Go for it. Awesome, right? I'll try with a steak knife. Go straight down. Go ahead. Way
It
different?
was even easier.
Even easier, okay? And it's got more length so that the bigger the food, steak, fish, large tomatoes, it's way easier to cut. It is the most popular knife right now in terms of eating the food, okay? That knife can come at the bottom of the set for people who like to cook or people who love to cook. This is the signature, remember the complete. So this has table knives only. This one has table knives, or you can upgrade to the bigger steak knife. And this one has table knives, more table knives, but you can upgrade the steak knife. Good? You guys have just memorized all the nicknames in less than 2 minutes. Nice job. Snap, 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 snap. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break here. So it is now 3:47. Same thing, I'd like to take a working break. And during the working breaks, I always like you guys to ask questions. So this next break, I want you to meet as many people that you haven't met before. The new question for the icebreaker is not destination of travel, food. I want to know your favorite cuisine or favorite specific dish. Okay. Also, if you brought food to eat, you can feel free to start eating during this time and also chit chat, but you can eat while I'm talking too. Got it? Okay, so let's take it's 3:47, call 3:48. Let's take 10 to 8 after 4. 3:58. Let's get rolling. Okay, so meet as many people as possible. Favorite dish, favorite cuisine, please.